Blog Talk Radio. Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. We host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard. Hi, everyone. This is Chatting with Nat. This is Natalie Jean. This is Natalie Jean. Today, we have the honor of having singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist Kristen Ford. Kristen Ford is a singer-songwriter and multi-instrumentalist based in Nashville, Tennessee. Her live looping show layers beatboxing, harmonies, guitar, and drums, and has wowed audiences from Boston to Berlin, rawkus pride festivals to pin drop listening rooms. Elevates indie rock, Boston Herald, pure rock and roll screaming with childish joy, the Deli. A little whimsical, clearly influenced by songwriting breaks without losing her unique character and offbeat enough to always have a bit of an edge. Worcestershire Telegram. I hope I said that right. Let's give her a round of applause. Hi, Kristen. How are you?
Hey, what's going on, Nat? Natalie, whatever we want to do.
You call me whatever.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much for having me. It's Worcester, or if you're from Boston, it's Worcester. Telegram.
Worcester.
There you go, kid.
I tried. So how have you been during this crazy thing we call pandemic?
Well, I'm doing great. I was laughing. I was talking to my girlfriend about I just got a new package from Amazon full of KN95 masks, and I was like, wow, this is where we're at in 2021, where you're like, woohoo, my new medical masks are in the mail. I can wear around my daily existence, but I'm really happy that we are able to connect as much as we can these days, and I'm hoping that we can just be over this as soon as possible. So I'll just try to do my part, washing my hands, not touching my eyes after I go anywhere in public,
I feel
you ever try to not touch your face, Nat? You know how hard that is?
Yeah, that doesn't work. So that's why I have plenty of hand sanitizer, and I wash my hands. I mean, there's certain things that you're so accustomed to doing, and all of a sudden, because there's this, you would think because there's this virus thing, you wouldn't be able to touch your face, but no, that doesn't, I try. That's all I can do. We can do. We can just try and stop doing that. Like I tell people, sometimes I lay in bed and I try to figure out if we're in 2021 or not, or we're in 1930s or 1950s. Because when you think of a pandemic type thing like we're going through right now, you think, oh, that can only happen back then. It wouldn't happen now. And so it's just very surreal, the things that we learn about one another during the pandemic. One of the things I see is that, we need physical touch. That's if anybody didn't learn that during the pandemic, it's like key. We need people around us. It's you can't see family, friends, or whatever, and you see people through a screen. It's mind-boggling how we got to this place, and hopefully they say within a year they're hoping all of this will go away. I don't know, but all we can do is just follow the guidelines and do our thing. Now, during the pandemic, did you do any live streaming?
Oh, I did a lot of it. And the outpouring from my fans and supporters was just incredible at first. Like, I started doing every Thursday, I would do a live stream. And the first couple shows, I was like, wow, this is better than gigging. I didn't have to go anywhere. And I think people were really feeling that, like, when there's a disaster, look for the helpers. People were really feeling it for musicians who had to cancel tours, which I was among that group of people, and it was great. But then, over time, the live stream experience, I think it just became difficult for me to feel like I was putting as much energy and quality out as I would in a room full of people. just because getting the audio and the video quality as stellar can be difficult. But that said, our ability to connect globally right now, and I'm looking at the tools of being able to live stream and create TikToks and post short stories and short clips, and trying to really embrace that rather than fight it, because it's going to be a multi-tiered approach, I think, to performing. Like from here on out, things are different.
Yeah, I like the fact that, obviously the pandemic was bad, but that it gave artists more avenues to be able to be seen and heard. I did a webinar on TikTok, and they were like, yeah, if you're doing TikTok, you got to do 5 videos a day. I personally don't have time to do 5 videos a day. But what TikTokers really like, according to TikTok, is that they like authentic people, authentic artists, authentic music, and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, during the pandemic, a lot of streaming platforms opened up a lot of doors for a lot of artists to be seen and heard, and it actually did a lot of good for some people. But during the pandemic, also, people had time to self-reflect. So one of the questions I asked is this. Obviously, when you have time to self-reflect, you look at your surroundings, you look at your life, you try to decide who you want to be, what you don't want to be. And, I had friends that decided to take a step back from work, cut back on hours because they realized they weren't spending enough time with family and friends and stuff like that. So they're like, got to put a hold on that. Some people decided to quit their jobs. They're like, this is not what I want to do. I'm not happy. I need to do something that's more fulfilling. The earth itself was open, no pollution. Why? We weren't there. The animals and Mother Nature, they were like, oh my God, this is great. The sky's open. And then artists. I know some artists that decided to rebrand their whole catalog. They're just like, nope, want to do something else. I want to be an effective player. We know that the pandemic, obviously a lot of people suffered. People died. People lost limbs. All kinds of things happened. It was bad. But at the same time, it opened us to really evaluate who we are as human beings, and specifically as artists. So during that time, did you do any self-reflection? Did you think about how you want to be perceived as an artist? Are you fine where you are?
Yeah, that's a great observation of, I think, a cosmic shift that has been happening, or like a global shift in mindset. I was part of a indie film, a roller derby horror flick called Valentine Crush. In September, we filmed this movie. I did a couple songs for the soundtrack, and we shot a few music videos on set, but I also had my first speaking part in a film, and I learned to roller skate, and I was doing some stunts, and I just had an epiphany when I was on set that I needed to be an actor.
Right.
So that's been a really great thing to pour myself into. Like, I started out with Zoom acting class because we were all separate, and it's acting for film and screen, so I guess it's okay to be performing for your computer screen, but it's great to have done a lot of in-person projects as well. And I also feel like as a musician, it was really lovely to kind of, okay, not touring right now, not being out around people, but I can focus on this new craft of acting and learn as much as I can about that. And now that War in the Living Room, my record, is coming out, I'm comfortable not throwing everything into acting, but being like really focused on being a musician again. So I guess that's hopefully an answer to your question, but I think it's really nice to dabble in different things and have different interests and feel like it feeds my guitar playing if I learn more about scene study, and if I watch really good actors work, then it makes me want to approach my songwriting or my performance of a song, the emotion in it, from maybe a more genuine place. I think it all feeds into each other.
Yeah, I actually signed up for a bunch of things also for the acting stuff. But I have so much going on. I sign up for stuff and then it goes by the wayside, and I'm like, okay, I need to get back to that somehow. There's just not enough hours in the day for me to be able to do everything I want to do. So, but I completely understand going into a different avenue of the business. That's congratulations. Good for you. Do it all, I say. If you can, do it
Yeah.
all.
I think have you heard the phrase, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life?
Amen. And that phrase is so
I
true.
mean, I don't know that I agree with it, but I think that if you are passionately pursuing something, if you have a lot of interest and passion and joy for what you're doing, then it's like the hours go by and you don't know.
Exactly.
And that kind of work, I think we have endless energy. But, yeah, there's not enough hours in the day to do it all. We need 10 lifetimes, I think, to do it all.
I know. So what was it about the music industry that made you say, whoa, I've got to do this? Was it something that you heard, something that you watched, where you were just like, you know what? Music is in me. I got to do it.
Well, I started playing guitar when I was 14. I actually was really into the band Blink-182 at the time. I think that was the first time that I really tapped into music, where I just wanted to crank it up and jump around my bed and this guy I had a crush on played guitar. So I was like, how's that for a power dyke move? I'm like, I'm going to learn to play guitar better than him, and then he'll for sure like me back. So I picked up guitar at 14 and just fell in love with writing my own songs, learning other people's songs, and I play a lot of different instruments, and I'm into looping and production, and I love singing. I think it's super joyful to be able to sing your own voice. It's just like a fingerprint. There's nobody else in the world that has your singing voice, and so I would say music's like a rabbit hole I can just keep falling deeper and deeper into. It keeps getting better the longer I'm at it.
No, and I completely understand where you're coming from. Music is my saving grace. That's all I know. I mean, when you're happy, sad, you're angry, you can sing and belt out something. You always feel better. I know that works for me. How important is it for you to be authentic in your music and as an artist?
I think really important, and I think that's also why I haven't maybe gone the covers route as much as I know I'm capable of it, and I don't knock it at all. There's some incredible musicians who are doing covers, but I think for me, it feels like if I'm not really owning what I'm doing, then I don't want to do it. And also, I want to learn as much about the production end of things and sound engineering and, how all the different instruments are played, so that not in a control freak kind of way, but in a if I'm captain of the ship, I need to know what all the different parts of the people making the boat sail, how that works,
Right.
And if the production seems cheesy or something, then I'm not going to do it. So it's an evolution, and there's certainly things that I've put out now, or records when I was 17 that are cringe-worthy, but then there's also stuff that if I'm in a certain kind of mood, I'll go back and listen to music that's years old, and I'll be like, you know what, this sounds. Can I cuss on this show?
Right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Sounds pretty fucking good. Where that's beautiful to in your lifetime get to have an idea and then go express it.
I like it. I like it a lot. What is your songwriting process like? And if you get writer's block, how do you deal with it?
Yeah, I would say there's not one process. Sometimes I just create a little quiet space alone in a room with an acoustic or an electric guitar, and words and music kind of pour out of me, and I'm really grateful to the voice memo feature that sometimes I just make stuff up and it's pretty good, and then I write it down and refine the song later. Other times I'll be working on a song for 2 or 3 hours and feel like I don't really get anywhere with it, and then once I've given up, I'll write a good song in 10 minutes. So I think
how that works.
It's a craft. Yeah, I love it. It's a craft and it's a muscle, and I've also done some of the Nashville co-writing thing where you get together with someone you sort of know or don't know at all, and in 3 hours you write a song, and I'm into building the muscle and I'm into working your chops on the craft, but I also think my best creativity is when I'm just kind of a conduit, and I'm like, I don't know where that came from, but it felt good. Or maybe authentic would be the word. It felt authentic, you know.
I become so productive in the shower. Now,
yeah,
if I can remember the crap once I walk out, you know, people are like, oh, just have your cell phone there and stuff like that. And I'm like, no. I'm trying to create this device that you can put in the shower that's waterproof, and then it deletes the sound of the water, and then you can just sing, and all your ideas come to fruition on this. Okay. Because my God,
wow,
it's stuff. And then I walk out and I try to repeat it, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't remember.
That quick, huh? You grab the towel and it's gone.
I'm getting older, and it's like, I'm getting older, and it's kind of crazy. So things just don't sit in my head that well anymore.
Well,
yeah.
Steve Jobs was a meditator.
Yeah.
And I read an article that was questioning, like, if he had an iWatch or an Apple Watch, whatever they call it, would he have like started or would he have been too distracted with like a text came in, or I got an email, or what's the temperature? So maybe if you had your device in the shower, device sounds maybe misleading, but your microphone, you wouldn't get creative because you'd be like, I have to be productive. I'm in the shower. I better come up with something great. Maybe it's that there's no pressure, that you're just open to it.
Well, the thing is that the device would be there, right? And so you get in, you might forget that the device is there, and then you all relax and you start singing. You're like, wait a minute, boom, my device is right there. I can just click a button. That's what I'm trying to do. And I asked somebody else. I said, I don't understand why, because several people have told me the same thing, that they love to sing in the shower. They come up with great ideas. And one person said it's probably because you're alone, or maybe you're not alone, and you're just more relaxed, and the water is so soothing.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So
I think it's a good idea. I'll meet you on Shark Tank. We can pitch it together.
Listen, I need to do this thing. I think it'd be like the bestseller.
It's a great idea.
It'll work. It'll work. All right. So we're going to play your song, Broke Stone. Tell me what that's about.
Yeah, it's called Broke, Stoned, and 23, and it's about a time in your life when you maybe have nothing and no plan, but you have everything. Mm-hmm. Because I think I was 31 when I wrote the song, and looking back, sometimes shit gets really serious and really heavy. This whole record is kind of about going through a divorce and having things just fall apart that you thought were locked in literally forever. And your whole aspect of who you think you are and what you think you're supposed to do for someone else, and when everything gets called into question, which maybe on a global level it really has for everyone now that we're living in a new normal, when we get excited when medical masks come in the mail. Like, I think it's relatable, and also I liked what you were saying about music. When you're sad, happy, angry, I think this song definitely takes some twists and turns, and hopefully you can dance it out, but also like feel the emotion.
Right. All right. Well, let's play it.
Sweet.
You are a storm cloud full of salty water, and even in the darkness, I was not to falter. I don't think of you as an enemy. if I like the beginning. I don't think of time as the enemy. I'll never sit out broke, stoned, and 23. Holding on my best intentions. Can we do our best to just not mention it again? We have done for, baby. But oh, we have good things. When you were drowning, I kept my hands in my pocket. I kept my feet real dry. Head underwater. You can count on me to change the subject. Maybe someday I'll be with line. I wish that I was broke and stoned and 23. I wish that I was all alone with nobody. You are a storm cloud full of salty water. And even in the darkness, I was not to falter. The earth is spinning around effortlessly. How I wish that I was broke, stoned, and 23.
Yay, that was joyful. I was shaking my booty to it.
Nice.
That was
Nice.
what is your favorite part of being an artist?
Free snacks.
Yeah, right.
That's probably why I like acting too, is because there's usually a crafty with free snacks.
All right. I like that. That's honest. And
No, but honestly, like, that's a silly answer, but I do take a certain kind of joy about, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I grew up like kind of a poor kid, but like when you have exclusive access to somewhere, or you're like, this hotel room, a festival paid for it. You know, like this flight, I didn't even pay for it. That feels really great.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing when you don't have to pay for stuff. No, I have friends that are like, no, I can't do. No, I don't have problems doing it. Because if you don't have the money, somebody wants to buy. Why not? That's a blessing to me. It's a pure, unadulterated blessing. So I get it.
Yeah.
Now, what would you consider? What is your genre? I know you're a singer-songwriter.
I play indie rock.
Indie rock. And how are women perceived in the indie rock genre?
Whew, you want me to be the representative for all women?
Yeah.
Wow, well, I don't know if I'm qualified for that, but I would say that I've been involved with girls rock since I was 15 and have gone on to teach and volunteer for different girls rock country, and also just as a human who's been to thousands of shows and played tons of shows on tons of bills. I think there's still more men than women in the industry, but it's from the time when I was first getting started and you were maybe assumed you were a singer if you were a woman and you showed up. I don't see that as much now. You don't know if she's running sound or if she's going to be the drummer or the upright bass player or whatever. I think there's plenty of really kick-ass women and
Amen.
cool dudes. So I'll work with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I work with everybody. I'm open, Nikki and I started Sisters in Music because, we want to show that women can work together, although there's some instances it seems that it can't. And we often talk about the fact that in the music industry and some other industries, they often try to pit women against each other. The way you look, the way you dress, the way you sound. Oh, you have to be like this. You have to be like that. I'm not one for that, and I'm not one for diva behavior either. We're each doing our own thing. I don't believe that there's somebody above us or somebody below us. I think that we're on the same playing field. We may be doing different genres. We may be trying to do things differently, but this platform is big enough for all of us to be able to share our music and congratulate one another when something happens for us. I'm always congratulating people. I don't have a problem with it. When somebody else is doing something great or they've achieved great, something else is going to happen for somebody else. It's like that in the universe. And I think it's important for us, our mindset there. I mean, there's too much like bad stuff going on in the world that I can't focus on bad. I just have to be positive and know things are just going to work itself out, even with women. It's interesting because I've reached out to some women organizations that say they support women, and they just like turn their backs because if you're not at a certain level, they just won't talk to you. See, that's bullshit. That is the BS. Fine, but that's the reality of some things as well. So you know what? You just look at it and you move on, and you say, you know what? There are plenty of other people, organizations that we've interviewed, and they've been lovely, giving us fantastic information on how to work together and promo and market and do all this crazy stuff that we have to do in this music industry. Now, you say you are a multi-instrumentalist. Tell me.
I do say that.
What do you play?
I played drums. That was my first instrument. I beatbox. See? And I play bass, guitar, ukulele, piano, synthesizer, banjo. Triggering things. I just picked up a rajau in Portugal, which is like a Portuguese version of a ukulele with 5 strings. I play a little charango, which that's a instrument from South America that's got 8 strings. And so I haven't really dabbled with like woodwinds or brass or like violin, cello. I like to hire people who have gone through the painful learning process on those instruments. But yeah, pretty much if it's got frets or if it can make beats or, I got a piano right here, like I want to play it. I want to know how it works.
Cool. Because I play nothing. My vocals are my instrument, and I tell everybody this. I've had a smart keyboard in a box for 4 years now. That's supposed to be open, never open. I am going to open it though.
Okay. I'm starting to see a theme.
I'm going to open it. Damn it. But I mean, it's just crazy. I gotta do that. I tried to learn how to play guitar, but I felt like I was a contortionist. I was just like, oh my God, how am I going to? My body it wasn't fixed. I don't know, it wasn't situated right. And then I just learned from one of my friends. They do make guitars for women, and so I may go back and try to dabble in that. But I definitely need to try the keyboard that's been in the house for about 4 years and not open.
Well, I think music's a language, and if you already speak one well, and as a drummer, they say if you can say it, you can play it, as you break down complex beats and understand things. Like getting your 4 limbs to move independently of each other is sometimes really weird. So, like, you say it, you can play it, And then if you can sing it, then you can maybe find those notes on an instrument. I'm sure you'll get there with your smart keyboard.
Yeah, I gotta do it. What's the one thing you wish you had known when you began your career? That's a loaded question, I know.
I think that you don't have to. Well, how do I want to phrase this? It's okay to say no.
Amen.
So I think there's this feeling, especially when you're first getting started, that any opportunity, you must take it. Or when I was in my early 20s, I was playing New York City like every month while I lived in Boston, and I worked as a barista. So I would like get off my shift at 3 and drive to New York City, load in, play the gig, get a beer with a friend afterwards, and then drive home, get back to Boston for like 5 a.m., take a shower, and then go to work at 6 a.m. Like, I used to do that.
Right.
Every month because I thought I needed to break New York. And if I didn't commit to like that insane level of trying to make stuff happen, it wasn't going to happen. And I love music so much, and I love being able to be self-employed and make my own schedule, and it's worth it for me to sacrifice. But I think you actually are cutting yourself off a bit from your true potential if you operate from that sort of like desperation almost. And it's better to wait for the right opportunity, the right show pops up in New York. Maybe you take the next morning off so you can sleep in and go explore some Brooklyn brunch spot, and then you make some connection with someone who has a label, and you know what I mean? Like there's easier ways to go about it than total balls to the wall, making it happen.
I hear you. So we're gonna play Gray Sky Blue. Tell us what that's
Love
about.
it. Gray Sky Blue I wrote on a balcony in northern Germany while I was touring there, and I think it's one of the best songs I've ever written, and I just came up with it in one go. It was one of those I was feeling a lot of stuff and going through a lot, and out it came.
Okay. Well, let's play it then. I'm eager.
Rock on.
All right.
Fish out of water, you gasping.
Rock out, man. Rock out. I like it. I like it. I like it. Now,
Woo!
what is something that you tried to do and it didn't pan out, and what did you learn from it?
Ooh. A lot of self-reflection on this interview.
well.
I think I'm not sure I want to say didn't pan out, because even if something's like potentially a failure, it
well, it's funny
you
that
learn something from it, right?
It's funny that you use the word failure, because I hate to use that word, because the question is actually, what is your biggest failure and what did you learn from it? I just don't like that. I don't believe in failure. I believe that you can learn from something. So if you can learn from something, it's actually not a failure. You know, you were meant to experience that thing so you could learn from it, obviously.
Yeah, I think perhaps taking on some shows or heading into certain business agreements in the music industry have been maybe not the wisest idea, or
right.
In hindsight there were maybe red flags about a certain promoter or a certain gig that could have been like, maybe not, or maybe I shouldn't tour with this other band, or but honestly I think it's all gravy. And when I think about where I'm at now and what I've achieved in the past, I feel really blessed, and I feel like I've been really lucky, and things are panning out, and I'm ready for them to even keep getting better and better. Why not?
Well, I like that answer. I like it a lot. It's a beautiful answer. What are the best resources that have helped you along the way?
Advil, coconut water.
Yep. Now we're
I
talking
kid,
about.
but be careful, kids. There's a lot of booze on the tours. They're gonna give you alcohol. They may not pay you, but they are gonna give you PBRs.
Oh yeah.
I would say that Music Cares has been a really huge, really amazing nonprofit. They're run by the Grammy Association. They've helped me out with like some dental expenses that were gonna be pricey, and I just got some custom earplugs from them, and they're just really rad. And I also would recommend any original artist to try to form a relationship with their PRO, so that as songwriting royalties are out there in the world, you have someone that cares, that's collecting them, and also that's invested in your development as a songwriter. And then finally, this website, Indie on the Move, these two brothers started it, and it's basically like the Yelp for music venues, and it made my life so much easier as I was booking my own tour, or my own tours like years ago. And I think for the past 3, maybe 4 years, I've actually freelanced for Indie on the Move, and it's been just awesome to help other artists learn how to tour and get on the road, and to feel like I'm part of an organization that's really delivers on what they say they're offering, Yeah,
I'm looking at their website now. I've heard of Indie on the Move, because I think that one of the people that I use, BWH Music, they use them a lot. So I'm going to tell more people about them. You just reminded me of stuff that I needed to do. I mean, the other thing you talked about BMI. Yeah, thank you for that, Kristen. You're just adding more shit. I appreciate it. I really do. So I signed up this past year to do Song Trust. Song Trust is another one that gets your royalties from like in Europe and all that stuff, and so I have to upload my music to that. It's
totally.
It's like tedious. It's a lot of work. And then the other thing that I was doing, I have to write this one down, is so there's another company, I can't remember what it's called, I'm going to have to look for it, but it's one that has all of your lyrics. I I can't remember what it's called right now, but you just upload all your lyrics to them. I don't know if they copyright. I don't know what they do with them. What is it called?
Are they searching for your lyrics on the internet, or are they posting in places if people want to find them?
I think they post them in places if people want to find them. So,
cool.
Yeah, so that's a place I need to. Let me tell you, I must have emailed them like 4 or 5 months ago, and I still haven't done that. Damn, my life is so crazy. So one of the things I like to tell people is that if you're getting into this music business, it is a lot of damn work. It is a lot of damn work. So how do you manage everything? I mean, all your social media platforms, doing everything, because we have to be on every damn platform. It's just crazy, just to be seen and heard.
Well, I mean, I think it's a personal choice about how much folks want to do or where they want to be, and I don't think you can do it all. That's again the whole like knowing when it's okay to say no, and also I think as people are growing their brand or their music, or maybe they are juggling like a personal life or another job, like it's okay to outsource. Yeah. Like what you were saying with the royalty stuff, like find a company that can help make it more simple for you. Or I do not like doing publicity. I think it's amazing that we're doing this interview right now, but for me, sending out press releases and trying to, get features and stuff, like it doesn't really spark joy, and that's something where it's like, if that's someone's passion, please let me help you help me. So then sometimes you have to know, or I'm working on a new music video, and I reached out to someone about editing it, and she does great work, but I don't think it's in the budget for this video, so I'm going to edit it myself. So it's, it's wonderful. Everybody has pretty much access to an incredible tool if you have a cell phone or if you have a computer with internet access. Like, you can do everything yourself, but that doesn't mean that you should. And I think maybe just the more you do it, the more you can figure out how to prioritize and how to best leverage your time.
Right. Very good. Very good. Good advice. And last thing, what is a quote or message or whatever you like to use to push you throughout the day, the year, the month, the minute, if you use one?
I love the mantra, things are always working out for me. Even when something goes bad, just say, things are always working out for me. And then when something goes great, you're like, see, I told you, things are always working out for me. And I just like to keep that in my mind.
That is a great mantra. I think I'm going to use that also.
Yeah, why not?
It's very positive. Things are always working out for me. That's right. I'm going to say that 100 million times a day. Things are always working out for me. Amen. 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 Well, Kristen, thank you so much for being on Chatting with Nat. It was a joy. I learned so much about you. You rock. You're all
thanks for having me.
I'm glad we were able to get together. I think I'm going to stalk you. Follow your music and follow everything that you do. You're all inspiring. And I can't
Well, thank you. It was a pleasure, and I hope we can connect for a show or a chat or something sometime soon.
Yeah, let's do it. Next time I'm in Nashville, I'll have to look you up.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. All right, everyone. That was Chatting with Nat. That was singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist Kristen Ford. Follow her. Find her. She's at www.kristenfordmusic.com. She's awesome. She's interesting. Just Google her. That's what I tell people. Just Google. Until next time on Chatting with Nat. Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. We host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard.